Now on CoastTV News.
Vigil honors Kirk.
People should not be killed or murdered or assassinated in this, like what's happened in this case, just because they're speaking their mind.
With the assassination of the conservative activists felt nationwide, the ceremony held at Salisbury University last night.
Kirk school controversy, what two Delmarva districts are saying after social media posts by their staff appear to celebrate Kirk's shooting.
We made it to Friday, Delmarva, expecting mostly sunny skies. Will it carry over into the weekend? My latest forecast is coming up.
Whiteout. The Packers going with all-white unis take care of business in handing Washington their first loss of the season.
This is CoastTV News Today.
And welcome to our 6 o'clock hour. Good morning, I'm Matt Pensick.
And good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. It is Friday, September 12th, 2025.
It is Friday. I was waiting for you to say that word, Friday.
It is Friday.
Ready for the weekend.
We're almost to the weekend.
Ready for the weekend.
Yes, ready for the weekend. I think we usually always are on a Friday. It's something you can guarantee.
Even on this week, maybe even earlier.
Maybe,
Need
but
that weekend.
The best thing about a weekend is not only sleeping in for us, but it's also good weather. And Chris, you're talking that we're going to have some beautiful weather.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, everything's timing up perfectly this weekend. We're going to see plenty of sunshine today as we take a live look into Cambridge, seeing clear skies there. 57 degrees, dew point 57. Winds are calm, so we are seeing some patchy fog across the area, primarily across Somerset, Dorchester County. That's really been the area where we've seen that patchy, dense fog, nothing all that widespread. So use some caution here over the next few hours. Temperatures are holding in the lower 60s at the coast, 62 Rehoboth to 65, Ocean City 54, Harrington to 55 in Laurel. Winds are calm, and that's allowing for the temperatures to fall at their lowest points at this hour. High pressure building in, keeping most of the eastern seaboard pretty dry through much of the mid-Atlantic, and that's going to produce some bright blue skies today and some sunshine, and we're going to carry that over into our weekend. Overall, we're keeping it dry. Going to see rain chances stay at bay here over the next really 4 to 5 days. Plenty of sunshine through the morning. We're up to 72 by around 10 a.m. By lunchtime, we're in the mid to upper 70s, on our way to the upper 70s, near 80 degrees across parts of Delmarva. And it gets even better over the weekend. We'll talk more about some 80-degree temperatures this weekend in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thank you, Chris. And our top story this half hour comes in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination.
Salisbury University held a vigil to remember the conservative activist. It was hosted by the SU College Republicans.
And Kirk did a lot of outreach to young people, hosting events on college campuses to politely debate political issues.
SU College Republicans President Colin McEvers says this loss hits close to home.
I believe anyone should be able to express their viewpoints, their mind, whatever it might be, because we have freedom of speech in this country. People should not be killed or murdered or assassinated in this, like what's happened in this case, just because they're speaking their mind. And there's nothing controversial enough to justify anything like that.
And Kirk was answering questions at a student event at Utah Valley University. That's when he was shot and killed.
And the deadly shooting has sparked a lot of reaction online. On your screen now is a meme posted by a teacher in Wicomico County. The meme shared by the teacher depicts Trump whispering to Kirk, quote, "This Epstein thing won't die. Gonna need you to take one for the team." Wicomico's county executive Julie Giordano is calling for the teacher's job. And Wicomico County Public Schools did provide us with a statement that says in part, quote, "The posting of a meme and comments in relation to a very serious incident has been an unexpected, unnecessary, and unwelcome disruption to school and the school system's operation."
In Virginia, Accomack County Public Schools, they are dealing with a similar situation. That's after a staff member made a post on a personal social media account. The post seen here was uploaded on Facebook. The employee posted "good" and was followed by those who need me to clarify, "Yes, I'm referring to him. Yes, I'm celebrating. Yes, I hope he rots. And no, I won't apologize." Accomack County Public School Superintendent Dr. Jennifer Miller released a statement, quote, "Please know that we are addressing the situation in accordance with the division policy and procedure. ACPS does not support or endorse the personal opinions expressed by individual staff members," end quote.
And this is going to bring us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what worries you most about political violence. And so far, 74% of votes are for more political violence, and then 17% more polarized society, 7% worry about free speech loss, and 2% social media hate. And if you haven't voted yet, you can still do so on CoastTV.com or over on our mobile app.
A weapon, prints, video. Still no suspect arrested in the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
NBC's Bofta Yiman shows us how police in Utah say there are rapid developments in their investigation.
Wearing sunglasses, a black hat, and a black shirt with an American flag is the man police want your help tracking down in connection with the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. This new video helping to piece together more clues and how the shooter maneuvered.
We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location.
Authorities say he fired a single shot from a rooftop before vanishing among this large crowd that came to hear Kirk speak.
Everyone was just screaming. There were a lot of cursing and everyone was just panicking. It was honestly the worst sounds I've ever heard in my entire life.
Authorities say the gun, a high-powered bolt-action voltage, later located in a nearby wooded area, is being analyzed in a federal lab, along with other possible imprints the shooter left behind.
He's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA.
7,000 tips and leads have poured in, and authorities encourage even more today. Meanwhile, as they prepare a case to pursue the death penalty,
I spoke to Erica, his wife, and we had a long talk, and she's devastated. She is absolutely devastated, as you can imagine.
Kirk's fans and family continue to mourn his death. In Washington, Bofta Yiman, NBC News.
This just in, people including children are starting to recover after a school bus rolled over. This happened in Pennsylvania on Thursday with 31 people on board. Authorities say it happened in the Columbia County just after 3 in the afternoon. They say a number of people suffered minor injuries, but it's unclear how many were children. Police are continuing to investigate what may have caused the rollover.
Heads up for drivers in Lewis. The city says the Savannah drawbridge will undergo scheduled maintenance this morning. According to Lewis's website, openings begin at 10 a.m. Crews are set to complete work by 4 this afternoon.
New this morning, the DMV on Go Mobile unit is back in Sussex County for the 2025 season. According to the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles, the traveling office operates 3 days a week now through October 30th. Monday, it's at the Lewis Transit Center. Tuesdays, you'll find it at the Milton Cheer Center. And on Thursdays, the unit sets up at the Harbor Freight Shopping Center in Seaford. The agency says the unit is open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And to find out what services are being offered at the mobile unit, you can head to the article on CoastTV.com.
Maryland Folk Festival's almost here, and what that means, we can expect several road closures across downtown Salisbury. This is to make room for stages, vendors, and thousands of visitors. According to the city's website, Salisbury is closing streets in phases starting Tuesday, September 16th. Some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th, and the Maryland Folk Festival takes place from September 19th to the 21st.
And speaking of the Folk Festival, Salisbury says it has received a major grant to enhance this year's event. The city was awarded $50,000 from the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority to develop the Maryland Folklife stage and area. The funding will also support artist fees, stage rentals, signage, and audio storytelling.
Washington starting week 2 of the NFL season at the all-white wearing Green Bay Packers. The burgundy and gold D allowed Packer quarterback Jordan Love to throw for 2 touchdowns and nearly 300 yards. And Washington loses 27-18. They fall to 1-1 on the season. And we'll have more on this game later on Coast TV News Today.
And we're just getting started in this hour of Coast TV News Today.
Yeah, coming up, catch birds before they leave. We have the opportunities you still have for migratory bird watching in one area of our coast.
Also, preparedness presentation will tell you about the family activities taking place this weekend in Delaware to honor National Preparedness Month.
And restaurant reaches new continent where Chipotle is headed next. All that and more as Coast TV News Today continues.
Plus a good Friday morning Delmarva as we take a live look into a beautiful shot here of Laurel as the sun set to rise here at 6:40. Temperature 55 degrees there. Winds are pretty calm. Fog, not all that big of an issue. Pretty much confined to portions of Talbot and Dorchester County, and that will be the case here over the next few hours. Temperature 54, Redden to 55 in Laurel. High pressure building in, keeping us nice and dry. We take a look at the drought meter. Not in enough drought, but you see some abnormally dry locations across portions of the peninsula. We're running a bit of a deficit for the month, about 85/10 of an inch, but overall for the year, still running about 4 inches above normal. So we do need the rain, and not going to see much of it here really over the next 8 to 14 days, but equal chances of seeing below or above average precipitation. Get your forecast anytime by dialing the First Alert weather phone. We'll talk about that 7-day forecast here in just a few moments. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. The Seagull Century Cycling event is right around the corner. It's on Saturday, September 27th, held by Salisbury University. According to the City of Salisbury, temporary road closures and restrictions will include Bateman Street from Route 13 to South Division Street. Traffic will be stopped at Avery Street at the start of the event, as well as restrictions from Francis Drive to Milford Street.
Sewer line work coming to downtown Salisbury tomorrow. According to the Department of Infrastructure and Development, work includes cleaning, inspection, and smoke testing. Crews will work on several streets, including Market Street, Poplar Hill Avenue, Baptist Street, and part of Calvert Street. It's all taking place Saturday with expected completion later that day.
A major acquisition could be hitting Hollywood soon. According to reports by the Wall Street Journal, Paramount Skydance is preparing to make a bid for Warner Bros. Discovery. The potential move comes just weeks after Skydance closed a deal to merge with Paramount. Paramount's assets include Film Studio, CBS News, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, The CW, MTV, and BET.
Chipotle is expanding to Asia for the first time. The Mexican restaurant chain announced a partnership with a leading South Korea-based food company. And the plan here is to open the first Chipotle restaurants in South Korea and Singapore in 2026. Chipotle already has several international locations, including 60 in Canada, 20 in the UK, 6 in France, and 2 in Germany.
I had for dinner last night, Chipotle. Let's take a look at the Walk for Prostate Cancer pickup coming in here tonight. You're making your way out to the Crooked Hammock, looking very nice later this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the lower 70s. We'll talk about a beautiful weekend ahead when CoastTV News Today comes right back.
Time is 6:16, and we have a live look at the start of the sunrise there at the Roosevelt Inlet in Lewis. And it looks like conditions are going to be fine for Chief Meteorologist Walk for Prostate Cancer this weekend, Chris.
Oh yeah, we're looking really nice. I'll be out there. I know a lot of other CoastTV News people are going to be out there, so we're looking very nice. We're seeing some patchy fog this morning. It's primarily focused across portions of Talbot and portions of Dorchester County, so use some caution there driving over the next few hours. The fog not all that widespread. Temperature's pretty nice stepping outside the door this morning. 54 Harrington, 55 there, Laurel, 54 Long Neck to 61 in Bethany Beach. Wind not a factor and won't be. Had those howling winds just a few days ago at the coast. We do have some lingering coastal flood advisories, primarily Dorchester, Somerset, Wacomico. That's up through 8 o'clock through the high tide cycle. We could see up to a foot of inundation in some of those low-lying areas. Accomack County, that's up through about 7 o'clock this evening. Clear, dry, just some patchy areas of fog. High pressure building in, pretty quiet throughout much of the Ohio River Valley as well as the mid-Atlantic. Mugginess, well, not going to be a whole big of a factor here over the next few days. We'll see a bit of an uptick as we go into the second half of the weekend. We'll see more of a southeasterly wind flow. Northerly wind flow still in place today, but temperatures pretty nice by the afternoon. 79 Georgetown to 77 Easton, 78 in Cambridge, 78 Princess Anne to 76 in Ocean City. So it's going to be a gorgeous afternoon. Really nice evening. If you have any plans, we'll fall into the 60s away from the coast through tonight, and then by overnight we dip into the 50s once again away from the coast. Gorgeous start to the weekend as we see mostly sunny skies by your Saturday afternoon with highs in the upper 70s, and then by Sunday that southeasterly wind flow and some lower 80s across much of Delmarva with the exception of the coast where we'll see highs in the upper 70s. Walk for Prostate Cancer kicking off there at Cape Penelope State Park. Registration begins at 8 a.m. there. 62 on our way to Temperatures around 71 by the race starting time, 79 by the afternoon, 81 by Sunday, and we stay dry through early next week. It's not until next Wednesday and Thursday an area of low pressure begins to develop off the Carolinas. That may spread some light moisture into the area and a lot of clouds by the tail end of the week. Tropics, we're in the peak now of the hurricane season. Quiet, but we do have a tropical wave coming off of Africa. National Hurricane Center has that at a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days. We're at 80 on Monday under partly cloudy skies, 77 by your Tuesday. And then as we go into Wednesday, clouds increase, and then we see that chance of showers rolling in by your Thursday. Lisa.
Thank you, Chris. Tomorrow, the public is invited to experience the new North Millsboro bypass in a fun way. Before it opens to drivers, DelDOT is hosting a charity 5K. And whether you run or walk, that is your choice. The almost 3-mile path is highlighted right now on your screen. Officials say proceeds will benefit the Be Positive Foundation that supports children with cancer.
And after the 5K, the road is open to bicyclists. The North Millsboro bypass officially opens to traffic on September 22nd. So here's what it looked like actually earlier this month. The new alignment connects 113 and Route 24. DelDOT says it intends to relieve a traffic bottleneck in the downtown area. That's been a problem point for years. And the new bypass even includes a separate multi-use trail.
Drivers should expect to slow down on US 13 in Maryland starting Monday. The Maryland Department of Transportation State Highway Administration says a single-lane closure will begin on the southbound lanes. You can see that location right here on your screen. It's between Route 12 and Stockyard Road. The agency says crews are expected to complete a resurfacing project by late fall.
Tomorrow, the Delaware Emergency Management Agency is hosting the 19th Annual Family Emergency Preparedness Day. This is part of National Preparedness Month. The event is free and it features educational activities and safety demonstrations. We have a map of where this is taking place. It's Old Camden Road from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And DEMA says you can even spend some time, this sounds like fun, with Sparky the fire dog.
There's going to be wagging tails, garden sales, and some community fundraisers at the Delaware beaches this weekend, so stay tuned for your cool things to do.
Tonight, the Salisbury Zoo is offering a unique experience by hosting its Bunk with the Beast camping adventure. Families can pitch their tents and enjoy dinner. There's a guided tour, there's animal encounters, and a night hike through the zoo. The next morning wraps up with a continental breakfast, and the zoo says people must bring their own tents, sleeping bags, and flashlights.
If you are interested in bird watching, there is still time this weekend before our feathered friends flock south for the cold months. Assateague Island National Seashore offers plenty of birding options. You can join a ranger on a birding program at the Toms Cove Visitor Center in the Virginia district of Assateague Island. Binoculars, field guides, and a bird viewing scope are available to use, and each program is free. 2 events are coming up this weekend on Saturday and Sunday. Both are held at 8 a.m. And I'm sure a lot of people are hoping to get some pool time in this weekend. I believe where I live, this is the last weekend to use the pool.
I bet the water's a little on the chilly
People were
side.
in it yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they were. They're braving it, yeah.
And I know, Chris, beaches are a good option. We have a great September day on our coast for this Friday.
Oh, yeah, it's going to shape up to be a perfect Friday. A beautiful shot here into Lewis. Look at the water. It looks like glass there. Seeing some patchy fog across portions of Delmarva. Nothing all that widespread. We're at 60 right now in Lewis. Winds are pretty calm, and it's going to be a gorgeous day through Ocean City and Fenwick Island. Mostly sunny skies, highs reaching the mid-70s. Do have a moderate risk of rip current, so keep that in mind. Waves about 2 to 4 feet. Lewis, gorgeous afternoon there with highs reaching the upper 70s, and as well as Rehoboth Beach, 74 by around your lunchtime. Starting off with a little patchy fog there in Cambridge as well as Crisfield, but by the afternoon, mostly sunny skies and highs reaching the upper 70s. We have Ellen Castellana of Georgetown, Delaware. You're the winner of our weather umbrella. Congratulations there. We'll have a look at that warm up into the weekend coming up in the next half hour. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Well, congratulations. We have made it to Friday. The weekend is almost here, and there are some can't-miss events happening along the coast.
There certainly are, and Coast TV's Christina DiRobertis has your cool things to do.
The kids are back in school, and for us, summer might be over, but for the dogs, it's prime beach season. There's no more restrictions, at least in Dewey Beach, and this Saturday is Dewey Dog Day. The town will celebrate dogs taking back the beach at Van Dyke Avenue from 10 to 2. The town will be offering discounted dog licenses, plus giveaways and prizes. And while the dogs are having their fun, volunteers will be pitching in up and down Delaware beaches for the 38th annual Coastal Cleanup. DenRec is hosting the event at more than 45 sites statewide, and you can join in from 9 a.m. to noon. In Rehoboth Beach, the Rehoboth Art League is hosting its second annual native plant sale from 10 to 2. Visitors can learn about native species, browse garden designs, and pick up plants from local growers like Bellaterra and the Inland Bays Garden Center. On Sunday at Shellville, a fundraiser in honor of Ryan Ennis, who passed away this summer after a 4-year battle with cancer. Proceeds will support his wife and 2 young children. And finally, our last cool thing to do this weekend is an annual event. It's organized by our very own chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, and we're here with him today so he can tell us more about the Walk for Prostate Cancer.
Well, this is something we started last year, and that was the first run. But this time around, we're actually going to be providing what's called prostate-specific antigen test, or PSA blood test, where we're going to screen folks as they show up for the walk with our partners, with BB and all of that. And we also have a lot of other things. We have some icy treats as well as children's books for the kids. And also, we're going to have a cookout after the walk. And for those who want to register at the very last moment, 8 o'clock on that day at the Cape and Open State Park. And then we're going to have to walk at 10.
It's going to be a great event for a great cause, and you can find all of the details and the link to sign up over on CoastTV.com. Just click on Cool Things to Do.
Now on Coast TV News.
Search for Kirk shooter, where the FBI's investigation stands more than 24 hours after the assassination.
Delmarva reaction, the vigils taking place on the peninsula to honor conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
We made it to Friday, Delmarva, expecting mostly sunny skies. Will it carry over into the weekend? My latest forecast is coming up.
DMV on the go, the dates in Sussex County next week where you can take care of those car services that are closer to home.
This is Coast TV News Today.
September 12th, 2025. Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Pensick. Good morning, Elisa.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning. I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for joining us.
6:31 a.m. We got Friday Night Lights tonight in football. Plenty of college action tomorrow.
Yes. Who are you rooting for in college?
Well, the beloved Nittany Lions, of course.
I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh.
No? Yeah.
You learned something.
How are you feeling about Sunday?
Sunday, Ravens and the
Yes.
Browns, and it'll be a good day for Ravens fans out there.
Oh, I will never ever say that. And Chris, we need to do a big check-in on you. You and your Eagles have a big game this weekend. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling pretty good. Hopefully we could send those Chiefs home packing at 0-2. Well, as we take a live look into Cambridge, clear skies there. We do have some patchy fog across portions of that area. 57 there in Cambridge, but we're still dealing with some areas of dense fog in and across portions of Dorchester County. That's really where it's been confined here throughout the morning time frame, so use some caution there driving around. We're down to 53 there, Bridgeville 55, Delmar 55, Long Neck 60, Bethany Beach 262 in Rehoboth. Winds not a factor at this hour. High pressure is going to be building in throughout the day today, keeping us nice and sunny and dry and pretty quiet throughout much of the east. Wall-to-wall sunshine through the afternoon. Lewis 77 in Rehoboth, as well as Dewey Beach 77 there in Ocean City. Plenty of sunshine. Notice the north wind generally about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We still do have a moderate risk of rip currents, so keep that in mind. And that warming trend continues even into the weekend as we get to near the lower 80s by the tail end of the weekend. We'll talk more about that and when we may see some rain chances creep back into the forecast in that full 7-day forecast. Elisa.
Thank you, Chris. Our top story this morning, Salisbury University held a vigil to remember Charlie Kirk.
It was hosted by the SU College Republicans.
Kirk did a lot of outreach to young people, hosting events on college campuses to politely debate political issues.
Yeah, Kirk was answering questions at a student event at Utah Valley University. That is when he was shot and killed. Another vigil in our area set for Sunday night in Georgetown. It's organized by the Delaware Republican Party and the Sussex County Republicans. According to the Delaware GOP, this candlelight and prayer vigil will be a time of reflection, remembrance, and resolve. The vigil is scheduled for Sunday at 5:30 p.m. and again, that's at the Georgetown Circle.
And new overnight investigators continue to search for a motive in Charlie Kirk's deadly shooting. The killing has a number of lawmakers calling for less inflammatory political rhetoric.
As Amy Kiley shows us, it's also prompting safety concerns among elected leaders.
He was an advocate of nonviolence. That's the way I'd like to see people respond.
The White House and Congress are increasing security after the shooting of political activist Charlie Kirk. A source says that includes in President Donald Trump's box at the Yankees-Tigers game last night. The New York team says it also beefed up entrance screenings. Another source says organizers moved a 9/11 ceremony for the president's security yesterday. But Trump says he's not concerned about his safety.
Not really. I'm really concerned for our country. We have a great country. We have a radical left group of lunatics out there.
Congressional leaders say they might boost security for lawmakers.
We're in a deliberate review process right now to determine what measures are appropriate, how much we could allocate for that. We've got to protect people who run for public office, or no one will.
House Speaker Mike Johnson says yesterday he discussed cooling the political rhetoric with Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
We have to figure out a better way to come together, not as Democrats or Republicans, but as Americans.
Several members of Congress say they worry about their individual events.
I've talked to my wife, and she really wants me to start wearing a bulletproof vest.
I like being accessible, but being accessible is starting to look like being vulnerable.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
You do have a heads up for drivers in Lewis. The city says the Savannah Drawbridge will undergo scheduled maintenance this morning, according to the city's website. Openings begin at 10 a.m. Crews are set to complete that work by 4 p.m.
New this morning, the DMV on the Go mobile unit is back in Sussex County for the 2025 season. According to the Delaware Division of Motor Vehicles, the traveling office operates 3 days a week. That will be now through October 30th. Mondays, it's at the Lewis Transit Center. Tuesdays, you'll find it at the Milton Cheer Center. And Thursdays, the unit sets up at the Harbor Freight Shopping Center in Seaford. The agency says the unit is open from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Maryland Folk Festival is almost here, and that means several road closures across downtown Salisbury. According to the city's website, this makes room for stages, vendors, thousands of visitors. The city's closing streets in phases, and that starts Tuesday, September 16th. Some of the closures include Circle Avenue, Main Street, and Market Street. All streets will reopen by Thursday, September 25th. The Maryland Folk Festival takes place from September 19th to the 21st.
And speaking of the Folk Festival, Salisbury says it has received a major grant to enhance this year's event. The city was awarded $50,000 from the Maryland Heritage Areas Authority to develop the Maryland Folklife Stage and area. The funding was also supported artist fees, stage rentals, signage, and audio storytelling.
Police in Maryland say there was no active shooter threat at the Naval Academy in Annapolis. This was after an investigation on Thursday. Naval support activity, Annapolis, and local law enforcement responded to reports of suspicious activity on school grounds. This was shortly after 5 p.m. According to NSAA, the base went on lockdown out of abundance of caution.
A federal judge in Arizona has temporarily blocked the deportation of dozens of unaccompanied Guatemalan and Honduran children. This isn't the first time a judge has taken action in this case. Over Labor Day weekend, when the children were put on planes at a Texas airport, a federal judge in D.C. blocked the flights from taking off. The action blocks their deportation until September 26.
And we got a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, gearing up for a Georgetown festival, we'll tell you what's in store for the annual Hispano Festival this year.
Also, love lights up Washington. Burgundy and gold have little answers for the Packers' passing attack in a Thursday night loss.
And push to end prostate cancer, we'll tell you how this annual walk is helping protect men from the disease and what activities to expect for the whole family. Stay with us on CoastTV News Today.
Well, I hope your Friday morning is off to a fantastic start, Delmarva, as we take a live look into Laurel. Beautiful skies there as the sun is rising on what will be a gorgeous day. 54 degrees there. Winds are calm. We've seen some patchy, dense fog in and across portions of Talbot as well as Dorchester County. Hasn't been all that widespread, but continue to use caution here through the morning. Temperatures, though, falling to 53 in Bridgeville, 54 Laurel to 62 in Rehoboth Beach. High pressure building into the area, and that's going to create some beautiful conditions this afternoon. Mostly sunny skies. So we start off with that patchy, dense fog across parts of the area. Grab the sunglasses. 57 degrees by this afternoon. We'll talk more about a very nice weekend ahead in that full 7-day forecast. Matt.
All right, thanks, Chris. This weekend at Cape Henlopen State Park, have fun while helping the fight against prostate cancer. Saturday is the annual Walk for Prostate Cancer. It's organized by our very own chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, and to help keep people in the know, men can get screened for the disease. This is a family-friendly event. There's also some icy treats and children's books, and you can also stick around after the walk for a cookout.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Caesar Rodney boys soccer has a state title to defend, and CR opened this season with a close 2-1 win over the Charter School of Wilmington. But yesterday, Caesar Rodney visited Milford, and the Riders got off to a hot start. Long pass gets deflected back to Owen Zura, who zips it into the goal. CR up 1-0 early. He's excited about it, and later in the half, Edwali Simon shows off some nice footwork, uses his left, and that's a goal. Riders take a 2-zip lead into halftime. And literally less than a minute after the break, beautiful spin move by Allison Hodking sets up Owen Zura for the goal. Precise passing. Caesar Rodney running away with this one. And it's Hodking's turn to be selfish now. Stops on a dime and scores 4-0 Riders. And for good measure, Brody Hinkle gets free and tacks on a goal. Caesar Rodney beats Milford handily, 5-zip, and the Riders looking strong in their title defense through 2 games. CR visit Sussex Tech next Tuesday for match number 3. That's it for sports. Have a great Friday, Delmarva.
And coming up tonight on DSN at 5, it's Down and Distance, 5:30, Scoops and Score. Your game of the night, we have got live Bayside Conference High School football at 6, Decatur hosting Y-High. At 9:30, you can watch 1CW Pro Wrestling. 10:30, Elisa, you should check out this one.
Oh.
Nittany Game Week.
Not to miss that.
And finally at 11, catch the final score. Now, along with the Decatur Y-High game, here's your DSN Plus exclusives at 6 p.m. You can watch as Kent Island hosts Middletown in high school football. 7, we got 2 games in Delaware, Sussex Central and Woodbridge. Cape traveling to Lake Forest.
And fall isn't just for football, it's for marching band too. And the Delmarva Sports Network will cover 6 marching band competitions featuring over a dozen schools from across the peninsula. These competitions will stream exclusively on DSN Plus. For the first one, that is on Saturday, September 20th.
Washington carried plenty of momentum into their Thursday night game at Green Bay, sporting a 1-0 record after an opening day win. That was thanks to a strong effort by second-year quarterback Jaden Daniels. His counterpart with the Packers also revving up for a big night. It was a night with football in historic Lambeau Field. And check out the Packers all-white duds. First quarter, Love, a little play action, connects to Romeo Dobbs on the slant. Packers score first, leading 7-0, and then down by 14 in the fourth. Washington gets back in it. Daniels to Zach Ertz. Ertz rumbling, he's scoring. Washington closes the gap to 17-10, but the Packers do respond. Jordan Love to Tucker Kraft. It is a 292-yard passing night for Love. Washington loses 27-18. They're back home on September 21st with the Raiders.
And Sunday Night Football is on Coast TV on September 14th. The Atlanta Falcons visit the Minnesota Vikings, and coverage begins right here on Coast TV at 7 o'clock. If you're having a rough week, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up right now for free at coasttv.com and get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Hope you're having a good Friday so far here along coastal Delmarva. But at 4 o'clock, if you tune into Coast Life, we've got even more fun coming your way. It is Friday, which means we've got a sweet, cute, adorable little puppy to introduce you to for our pet of the week. Some more fun with our friends at Kids Catch. You know, we like to get a little competitive, play some games here on the Coast Life couch as well. And we're also going to be chatting with a local author. All that fun is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, we're ending the week on a pretty high note. Seeing some patchy fog out there to start. Nothing all that widespread, but we're up to 77 by around your lunchtime. On our way to highs in the upper 70s to right near that 80-degree mark. And it gets even warmer over the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up in that full forecast.
The time is now 6:47 and we are taking a live look outside at Laurel on this Friday morning. Very sunny Friday morning, Chris. As we can see, the sun is almost too bright for our cameras, but that is a good sign as we head into the weekend.
Oh yeah, going to want to not forget the sunglasses this morning because we're going to see plenty of it throughout the morning and afternoon. Seeing some patchy fog across the area, but gorgeous look here into Lewis. Look at that water, like glass. Winds we had up to 35 miles an hour earlier this week. No, the winds are pretty calm right now, 60 degrees there. And then there's that patchy dense fog I was talking about right in around the Cambridge, Dorchester County primarily. Use some caution there over the next few hours until that burns off. Temperatures holding at 61 in Bethany Beach. We're at 55 Gumboro, 57 Seaford to the cool spot there in Bridgeville, 53 degrees. Winds are pretty calm and skies are clear. That's allowing for those temperatures to fall at their lowest points. Dorchester, Somerset, Wacomico County still do have a coastal flood advisory. That's up through about 8 o'clock tonight. Could see some inundation up to a foot at around high tide cycle later this morning. And Accomack County, that runs through about 7 o'clock tonight. High pressure building in. Look at how cool and dry it is throughout much of the northeast as well as the mid-Atlantic. Mugginess, well, we're going to be seeing dew points generally in the 50s and 60s over the next day, and then we'll see them creep up a bit as we go into Sunday and Monday, all thanks to a southeasterly wind flow. Temperatures, though, this afternoon, 75 in Lewis, 79 in Georgetown, 80 Federalsburg, to 78 in Cambridge, high of 78 in Princess Anne. So a beautiful afternoon, a gorgeous evening. If you have any plans, we'll fall into the lower 70s along the coast to 60s inland, and then we'll see some temperatures fall into the mid to upper 50s inland areas early Saturday morning, and our Saturday afternoon looking fantastic. Partly cloudy skies, highs in the upper 70s, and then by Sunday, look at this, 81 Georgetown, 82 Delmar, more of a southeasterly wind flow, and that's going to allow for some warmer temperatures. Well, we kicking off the walk for prostate cancer there Saturday morning, 8 a.m. registration, Cape Penelope State Park, 62 degrees. Race time begins 10 a.m., 71. On our way to highs around 79 degrees. And then by Sunday, we're up to 81. Staying dry into the start of next week. Then as we get into Wednesday, we'll see increasing cloud cover ahead of a system that's going to be developing off the Carolinas. Could spread some showers, some misty, drizzly conditions into the area as we push into Thursday. We'll keep a close eye on that. The tropics, we're in the peak now. We have a wave coming off of Africa, could develop over the next 7 days. About a 40% chance the National Hurricane Center has that at potential development. 80 on your Monday, partly cloudy skies. And we keep the dry weather really in play Tuesday through Wednesday. And then there we see that shower chance on Thursday with highs in the upper 70s.
Thank you, Chris. The Hispano Festival returns to North Race Street in Georgetown on Sunday, September 21st from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. This event celebrates the Hispanic culture.
In Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us what you can expect this year.
North Race Street in Georgetown looks empty now, but it will be soon full of vendors, local organizations, local taco restaurants, and more for the Festival Hispano.
I think it's a great celebration.
Kevin Andrade says this year it marks the 31st edition of the festival and the 13th under his leadership.
We love seeing people for all races and all backgrounds coming together and celebrating the Hispanic Month, Heritage Month.
Every year, after covering event expenses, the Voice Radio Network gives back, donating to local nonprofits such as First State Community Action Agency and the Rosa Health Center.
Every time we get a donation, it helps us. It helps us in, for example, giving something to the patients, buying something for the patients, helping for transportation with the patients.
And that funding is an even bigger deal now.
The last couple of years, the funding has been extremely important because we have been able to expand our building.
Local and international artists are expected to hit the stage.
This year are coming a big band from Mexico, they call Clave Nueva. Also, we are bringing two artists from Puerto Rico. One is Frank Ruiz Jr. and Edgar Joel. Both of them, they're going to bring in an hour and a half of classic salsa. It's beautiful.
Which is all part of celebrating the Hispanic community in our area.
The people want to dance, they want to have fun. It's an amazing opportunity.
In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
And organizers say the entrance has a $20 cost, but children 10 and under get in for free. And the team from our sister station, Telemundo Delmarva, will be at that festival.
The time is now 6:52, and we are going to check in with our coastal pet of the day.
And this hour, we are looking at Periwinkle from the Brandywine Valley SPCA. Periwinkle is a sweet gray kitty. She loves to be brushed and loves to play with toy balls and mice. If you want to adopt Periwinkle or Digger, who we had last hour, or any other lovable pet, head on over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA. And also want to note here, the organization is looking for those perfect pictures for its 2026 Picture Perfect calendar, PAWFECT. To register, head on over to the BVSPCA website.
And of course, we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva. Send us photos and tell us what makes them so special. You can take a look at your screen.
That's where that QR code is. Scan that, get your friends to us, and then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature.
It is 6:56, and here are the things you need to know before you go. Salisbury University held a vigil to remember Charlie Kirk. It was hosted by the SU College Republicans. Kirk did a lot of outreach to young people, hosting events on college campuses to politely debate political issues.
Tomorrow, the public is invited to experience the new North Millsboro bypass in a fun way. Before it opens to drivers, DelDOT is hosting a charity 5K. Whether to run or walk, that's your choice. The almost 3-mile path is highlighted here on your screen, and officials say proceeds will benefit the Be Positive Foundation that supports children with cancer.
And it is 6:56. We are going to take another look at our Friday forecast.
Yeah, Chris, let's have ourselves a good Friday today.
Oh yeah, we're ending the week on a high note. We are dealing with some patchy areas of fog in western portions of the peninsula. But I'll tell you what, we're starting off into the 50s, 71 by around 10 a.m. Mostly sunny skies through your lunch hour, and it's going to be a gorgeous afternoon as highs reach the upper 70s to right around that 80-degree mark. And we're going to be right back up there on Saturday, lower 80s Sunday through Monday, and looking pretty dry and comfortable through the start of next week. And then we'll see some rain chances roll back into the picture as we roll into next Thursday. Lisa.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News today.
And the Today Show is coming up next at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage you can count on, download our Coast TV News and weather apps. Have a great Friday morning, everybody.